Hey, what's up everyone? James from Junkyard Fox. Thank you so much for joining us. And today we're talking about this bag right here. This is the Nutsac Satchel 13. And yes, that's the name of the company. Other than that, it's a really great bag. Now, we got this bag back in January of last year. So we've been testing it for a year. Cuervo's used it for 6 months, and then I've used it for 6 months. So I'd say by now we have a pretty solid understanding of what we like about it, and perhaps a couple of things that we do not. Okay, so before we commence, let's go ahead and get the specs out of the way. Now, once again, the name of the company is called Nutsac. So it depends on your humor, how much you're going to enjoy that or not. To me, I mean, it's funny for 3 seconds, and after that, it stops being funny. Much snazzier than the other haversacks that you're used to seeing when it comes to everyday carry or camping, such as Hidden Woodsman haversacks. This is waxed canvas with full-grain leather. In fact, check out the bottom, the base, just absolutely beautiful. Now, once again, we've had this for a year, so it's already has a couple of miles on it, and this one has a lot of cat hair on it. I do have cats, guys, so I do apologize for that. But it is a beautiful bag. There's this leather strap handle right here. Really nice. The sling is removable, as you can see. So you can go ahead and remove that like that, as if you want it to just be a little man purse right there. Or place this back on. And you can adjust it as well. It is adjustable. Of course, everybody comes in different shapes and sizes, height, width, all that stuff. So you can adjust it, where it's comfortable for you. So this is an American company, and all these materials are made in America, and I really dig that. YKK zippers, all the good stuff. Now, the way you open it right here, I think it's really pretty. We'll talk about all the details later on, but you just pop it open, remove it. Now, there are 2 slight, subtle magnets on this, so it closes. It's inclined to just stay closed like that. It's not ultra strong, but I do like that. It just keeps this from flapping around. So I really like that. And there's a zipper right here in the front. And then, of course, up here, as you saw earlier, there you go. And I'll talk about what I'm carrying in a little bit. But very beautiful bag once again. The dimensions of this model are 13 by 9 by 2.5. And the weight of it, obviously when it's empty, is 1.94 pounds or 0.88 kilograms. Now, full disclosure, Nutsac did send us this bag for testing back in January 2022. It is now February 2023. And like I said earlier, Cuervo's been using it, testing it out for a couple of months, and then I've been testing it out for a couple of months. So we have a pretty solid understanding of this bag and where it's going to excel. Now, of course, we are from the everyday carry preparedness mindset. This is going to work very well. Not the best, and I'll elaborate on that later. Just keep in mind that Nutsac, check out their website. They have different models, different sizes, different layouts. Not only do they have satchels, but they have things like duffel bags and wallets. Really beautiful stuff, really well-made stuff. And as you can tell, this bag is really snazzy. It really kicks it up a notch from the usual haversacks and satchels that you normally see us out in, camping and, preparedness, like a Hidden Woodsman bag. This thing's just going to be a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more elegant. This can definitely be seen in the city, you know, in an office setting, perhaps a classroom, a college classroom, you know. So if you're a businessman, you're out running errands or, you know, meetings out in the city, you can be using this, and you're going to have your multi-tool, your flashlight, but at the same time, you're going to have your laptop, your tablet. If you're, once again, a college student, you can have a couple of books in here, maybe like a sketch pad if you're an artist with your pencils, that kind of stuff. But once again, you still have room for, you know, your everyday survival stuff, your preparedness stuff. So a really nice bag, very elegant. Once again, American made from an American company. Okay, so let me give you a brief rundown of what I'm carrying today. Now, we're just off on a very simple hike, just having lunch, and then we're going to head back to the city. So I'm not preparing for the end of the world or anything like that. So it's just a couple of basics that I would just carry every day for, once again, my lunch, as at the same time having a couple of my everyday carry items. So let's go ahead and open the main compartment right here. As you saw earlier, I do have my Yuko mess kit, and I was eating a sandwich earlier. I carry this damn near every single time that I go to work. I always like taking a lunch so I don't spend money. And I'll take, whether it's sandwiches, chicken strips, whatever the case may be, some taquitos. This works excellent for that. And then, of course, even though I don't need for my sandwich to eat with utensils, it's always good to have them because you never know. So a spoon, a fork, and a knife back here. I have a whole review on this if you want to check it out. I'll have the link up here. Great little item for everyday carry as well as for camping trips. And you saw earlier as well, I did bring a book. Now, I am an avid reader, and I'm always carrying a book, whether I'm at the laundromat or, you know, whatever the case may be, and you're just sitting around. I like to read. This is Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. It is my favorite book of all time. I have read this thing 16 times. It is a horrific book, and it's even more horrific the fact that it is based on a lot of real-life events that happened in 1849 in Texas and Mexico and all that stuff. If you're into Westerns, but you're, you know, if you know Cormac McCarthy, this guy's, you know, he's pretty dark. He's the guy who made No Country for Old Men. So it's an intense book, but I digress. But anyway, now down here, I also have my fixed blade that I am testing. Now, of course, I have my snake eater on my person, but this is what I've been testing, and you'll see this pretty soon on the channel on a review. Now, this is the Work Tough Gear Mount Laguna knife. This is a brute of a little knife. I mean, this thing is just the little knife that could. I mean, look how small it is, but it's just great for all kinds of things. It is a little bit on the thick side, on the heavy side, but I think that counterbalances my snake eaters, you know, and the knives that I normally carry that are very thin. So this is really great little Kydex sheath as well. And I think this complements this bag very well. I mean, I feel like they go together really well. So you'll see this on a review pretty soon, but I do have my fixed blade at all times. Secondary, I mean. Okay, so as you can see, this is the main compartment, and then we have two smaller 6-inch pouches on the side, or pockets on the side. So let's start over here on the corner. I do have this Phoenix ECP. So what this is it's a flashlight, and it doubles as a portable charger as well. So over here, you can power this on. I don't know if it's showing because, you know, we're in broad daylight, but it can go as high as 1,000 lumens. And at the same time, in case you need it, back here, you just connect your cable and you can charge your phone or any electronic, such as your flashlight, lantern. So it's good. You know, it's not going to be the strongest of, you know, it's not going to be charging it several times, but in a pinch, when you're out running errands, this is going to be, you know, it's going to be very useful. So my Phoenix charger. I also have these two Honey Stinger waffles. They're, you know, they're just a good little pick-me-up when you're out on a hike, when you're out camping, or, you know, when you're at work. Halfway through the shift, you're just feeling a little drained, a little tired. These come in handy. Of course, I have the cable. You know, I need the cable to use my charger. Now, what I like about this 3-pronged cable is that I have 3 different types of cables to use. So I have the lightning cable for my iPhone, I have the USB and the USB-C. So it's going to be very compatible with all my electronics. A clipper lighter. You should always have some form of ignition on you. So just the very easiest one to use is a lighter. Now moving on to the next pocket over here. in case that lighter fails you, in case it gets damaged, it gets stolen, in case it's really cold and it's just not working, you got yourself a ferro rod. So I got my 6-inch ferro rod here, and this does come with the leather sheath I had made years ago. So this would go around my neck when I was much younger. So I always had a ferro rod on my person. It does, as you can imagine, it gets very heavy, so I stopped doing that. But in case I need it, there you go. So, yeah, I have my ferro rod with the lid if I have to. I could just rock it like a necklace, and for those emergency fire situations. Once again, for the majority of the times that I'm using this bag, I'm in the city, so it's very rare I'm going to need this, but better to have it and not need it. Now over here, I have these two items, and I like that they have clips on them, so that way they just hang on to the bag and they're not just bouncing around. So the first one is the through night thrower. This is one of the lights that I'm using, that I'm testing out. And of course this, it comes with a band, so you can place this, make it a headlight in case you're doing some night fishing, some frog gigging, you're working on your vehicle or broke down in the middle of the road somewhere, something like that. So this is what I'm using. Great little light. And then of course a multi-tool. Now this is the Leatherman Wingman. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not my favorite multi-tool. What I do like about it is that it does come with the pocket clip, so I can just clip it right here on the pocket and it's not bouncing around everywhere. So that's why I have it. In my opinion, you should always have a multi-tool every single day whenever you're leaving home. There's so many uses for it. It's going to be a lifesaver. So not only do you have the pliers, you have a cutting tool, a secondary cutting tool there. You have a pair of scissors over here. Over here in the corners, you have your screwdrivers, flathead, Phillips. Over here, you have a parcel opener, helps you open packages. You have a can opener, bottle opener. So, really nice little multi-tool. Once again, not my favorite, but I like the fact that it's pretty lightweight. And once again, it clips on easily right there. As you can tell, the compartment is empty. These two pockets are empty. Now, there is a zipper back here as well. I have a field notes with this leather cover. And of course, to write field notes, you need a pen. So I do have my Sharpie pen. And then I have a secondary bandana. You can never have too many bandanas. There's uses for everything. And, even though I always have one on my person, never hurts to have a backup one in your haversack. And then one last compartment up here in the front. And this one is very simple. I just have my cordage. Once again, you never know where you're going to need cordage. And then I have my headphones here for my iPhone. So whenever I'm listening to music or I'm listening to a YouTube video, whatever the case may be, there you go. Something that's a lifesaver in city life right there. So there you go. It's not the biggest, haversack. It's not going to be the most prepared for all kinds of, survival situations, but you got your basics. You got your cutting tool, you got your illumination, you got your ignition, you got your pliers, your charger for your phone, all that good stuff. And then of course your stuff for everyday stuff, your books, your lunch, your snack. So good stuff. So what's the final verdict on the Nutsac Satchel 13 after a year of use? So first, let's go ahead and get the pros out of the way. I do think it's easily the most beautiful, most aesthetically pleasing of my haversacks that I own. I mean, easily with the wax canvas, with the leather. I mean, it just looks really nice, very elegant. It's not only, going to look really nice when you're out on a camping trip or a hiking trip, but it's going to look really great in the city. If you're a businessman and you want to look, very professional around your coworkers, your boss, this is going to look great. If you're going to go on a date with a pretty gal and you're running errands, this is still going to look great. So it's definitely, really beautiful. Also, I like the fact that it is an American company. We should all strive to support American companies, and all of the materials are American sourced. Everything from the leather to the YKK zippers, so I appreciate that as well. So it really is a great bag. I also like the fact that it retains its shape. A lot of my other haversacks, once you remove the items from it, they start deflating like a balloon and they look really goofy. I like the fact that this one just retains that, and it just, once again, it keeps it looking very elegant. Now let's go ahead and talk about a couple of the cons. Now the cons, I would say, are not really negatives on the bag itself. They're more of nitpicks. They're more of a personal thing for me and my style and what I'm used to. And also, I will admit, I did make a couple of mistakes. So let's talk about that. So first things first, I do got to say the name annoys me. The name genuinely annoys me because I'm not in third grade. So, you want to look at my nutsack? You know, to me, maybe it's funny once, and after that, it gets really old. So, yeah, I gotta say. In fact, I'm not the only one. My brother, he's going to Europe in a couple of months, and he's looking for stuff. For baggage and all that kind of stuff. And he liked this bag. He just won't get it because of the name. And honestly, I can't blame him. I know several people that the name turned them off from it. So I do got to say that they could have thought of a different name for their business. Other than that, the bag itself, I do think, I got to say that I'm used to, with years of using my other haversacks like the Hidden Woodsman and the Tough Possum bags, that I'm used to instant access to my gear. A lot of my other haversacks have pockets on the side, so if I need something really quickly, like my flashlight or my folding saw, whatever the case may be, I can access it immediately. This, on the other hand, as you can tell, I can't access anything until I open it, and it can take some time. So if I need something right away, I gotta open this, then I gotta unzip this, and look through here, and say I need it, open another one. It only takes a couple of extra seconds, but that gets to me. I do gotta say, could just be that I'm impatient, or I'm just, spoiled from other designs. I'm just used to other designs from other companies. But it's to the point where I don't even bother closing the top flap at this point at all. So, generally, I just keep it like this. I don't got to worry about it flapping because it does have a magnet to keep it still. And even if it was to fall over, I don't got to worry about anything falling out because there's a zipper already covering it. So I just use it like this now. Also, I do feel that the bag is a little cramped. Now, this is my fault because when we were emailing back and forth, myself, and the company, they said you can choose any single bag that you want to test out, and we'll send it to you. And I chose this one when, had I been a little bit more patient, I would have found another one that suits my needs a little bit better. So there's one called a tack sack, and that one has a wall of MOLLE webbing in the back. And that way you can hang, your multi-tool, your flashlight, your ferro rod, your pen, whatever the case may be, and it keeps those things there so you don't got to worry about them bouncing around and such. And I didn't get that. So to me, I kind of feel like the stuff here is kind of I don't know, like it's just going to be bouncing around in there. So once again, that's just on my behalf. I chose this bag and they sent me what I chose. So I should have just been a little bit more thorough. Also, like I said, it does feel a little cramped, as you can tell. It's looking a little cramped, but once again, I chose the Satchel 13. They do have larger sizes. So had I once again put a little bit more extra thought into it, I would have gone with something a little bit bigger that would have had a little bit more space in here. So once again, that's on me. But other than that, guys, I do got to say it is a really beautiful bag. It really is a very nice, very quality made bag. Well, folks, that is about it for us. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, suggestions. Also, down below in the description box will be the website to nutsac.com, so you could check their gear out. Not only do they have this satchel, they have several different sizes, several designs and layouts. Not only just satchels, but they have duffel bags and wallets and all kinds of EDC type items that are just, at least in this channel, a little bit more snazzier than what you're used to seeing. Once again, an American company with American materials. So thank you all so much for sending this to us, and we'll see you guys next week with another video. Now go outside and get your boots dirty.